Hey friend, welcome to day one of Crafting Christmas. It's me, Andrea, and today we're going to be making a countdown to Christmas. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you guys where I get my designs. And this particular design comes from Design Bundles. Now, I am not paid in any way to advertise for them. This is just the place I've used for a really long time to purchase designs. And it has different membership plans that you can get on. The first plan is a basic plan, and that includes exclusive access to Illustrate AI tools. And that allows you to generate unlimited AI art that meets the needs of whatever you're doing with yours. And it has a fair usage, and a download under the Plus Basic plan will come with a premium license. Then there's a second plan, which is the Plus Pro plan, which I am part of. And this plan includes all the benefits of the Plus Basic plan, and along with the additional features, I get the corporate and the print on demand license. So that's what I use this for, because I used to run a full-time business making t-shirts and sweatshirts and things like that. And this is where I would get my designs from. So I pay a monthly subscription, and I'll link whatever I can down below for you guys. But again, I'm not an affiliate. This is what I use. There's also a larger plan, which is called the Plus Unlimited plan. And that offers the most comprehensive benefits, including all of the features with the Plus Pro plan. You guys can check it out for yourself. But the really cool thing about this Design Bundles is it has so many options. If you are a paper crafter, if you're a card maker, if you use your Cricut for everything, if you have if you like to crochet, there's patterns. If you like to knit, there's patterns. There's cross stitch. There's so many different options that you guys can find on here. And I really think that if you just kind of go check it out and you see what all is available, this might be your go-to place, even if you just get the basic plan. If you're not selling anything, you could get the basic plan and get to choose from these plus credit items. So each month I get a total number of plus credits, and I can use those to purchase. I get I think 100. I don't know. I get a lot. I have a lot of credits through there. You can see it up here. I think it's 100 and something. I can't see. It's too small. But yeah, so this is the design I picked out for today, because I wanted to do a countdown to Christmas as our very first, thing that we were going to make for this Crafting Christmas. And I wanted to have it so that I could hang it up in my living room and just kind of bring all the excitement back to Christmas, because my kids are older and we never really stress a lot of festivities. We always celebrate Jesus' birthday. We make a birthday cake for Jesus at the beginning. For Christmas morning, we sing happy birthday, blow out candles. We do all of that, but we never really do the extra fun things just because they're older. We used to do them when they were little. We did a ton of stuff, but now my daughter's an adult and my son's creeping up to be an adult. He's almost an adult, which is crazy to think about. But I wanted to kind of bring Christmas back into our family as a fun and exciting thing. So whenever you purchase these designs, all you need to do, and you can just go buy some. You don't have to be a member of anything. You can go on and buy designs from them. And here I'm showing you, these are my credits. This is how much I have that I can go on. And most things are 1 credit. So you can see how much I can actually get each month and be able to make anything I like to make. So what you do is you click on the purchase, and then it'll want you to confirm that you want to use your credits to buy it. You just confirm it, and then it will send you to the option to download. So you can either download it immediately or come back and download it later. So I'm just going to download this, save it onto my computer, and then I'm going to pull up Design Space. So what I really like about Design Bundles is everything is preset. So when I take it in Design Space, I don't have to mess with it. I can just size it to the size I want, and it's good to go. Now, there are things that I kind of tweak and do to it that are a little different, but sometimes I've purchased designs, say, off of Etsy, and I've really had to go in and figure out how to get all of the pieces in the places they need to go. So with Design Bundles, I've never had that issue. This is what I get. So I get this design, I go in and save it. And then, like I said, I pull it up into my design space. So this video is a little bit, it's actually a lot longer than my normal videos, but I wanted to really walk you guys through all of the process and just kind of get to know you guys and you guys get to know me with this crafting Christmas. And I would love for you guys to comment below, like, what your favorite things of Christmas are, how you keep the traditions going, even though your kids might be older, or what are some of your favorite traditions you do with your kids if they're young. I always like to hear those things. So throughout this whole series, we're going to be I'm going to share with you guys tips and tricks, give you guys some really affordable places to purchase things at. And I'll also have my Cricut links below. If you've been with my my channel for a while, you'll know that I'm an affiliate with Cricut, but I will not share something that I'm not willing to purchase myself and use. So here we are, just uploading the design. You go into upload, browse, and then you just pull it up from wherever you saved yours at. And then you can add tags to it, which I love with Cricut Design Spaces. You can add tags, so there it's easier to find later if you have like a million things on your design space like I do. Then you just click on it, the green box will appear, and then you'll send it to your canvas. I also come up here and track through there that there's like a little square up there that if you click on, it's between the zeros. And if you click on that, it'll cycle through and you can either do 1-inch squares, the whole bunch of inches, the whole bunch of squares, or a background. And I like to use the plain white background when I do that. So here it just pops up as is. And you could absolutely just go into just like make it if you wanted to, but I want all of my pieces to be exactly where I need them whenever I go in to create them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup everything. So right now it's one big SVG file, and I'm going to ungroup it, and then I'm going to hide all of the brown and the green designs. And all you have to do is click on the little eye. It's like shaped like an eye beside them, and you just close them out. So basically it's not deleting them, it's just hiding them for the moment. And then I'm going to go up to select all and click that, and then I'm going to go down here to attach. And what that does is that'll make sure when I cut it, it cuts all exactly like this. If I hadn't done that, when I take it to my to make it, it could just scramble all the numbers all over the place. The word Christmas might not be, the letters in the right order. So I like to do this so when it's cutting all one space. And you'll see that whenever I go into weeding the design, how it makes it so much easier to place and layer each color onto the design that we're making. So now I'm doing the same thing with the brown. I did it with the green, and like I said, it just makes it easier. You don't have to do it. It's just lining things up for me is difficult. Then I'm going to select all, and I'm going to resize it. You have to select all to resize, or it's going to make it wonky, and you don't want that. So I'm just stretching it out to as big as I can get it. And then I'm going to, I need to say this. Originally, I am using my Maker 3 to make this, and I was going to use my Smart material, which, guys, I know people hate that Smart material. Some people are like, it's a ripoff. They just did it to make it to sell more. Listen, they're a company. Cricut's a company, and after using Smart material a lot in the past, I'd say 6 months, I absolutely love it. I love not having to use the mats when I, absolutely don't have to. But yeah, I wasn't able to do that because I didn't have the one color, and I wanted to be consistent with showing you guys what I was doing. So we're going in here because I'm using heat transfer vinyl or /iron-on, and we need to mirror all of our images. So I like to do that with each mat before I start cutting the first one. It just is like my rhythm. It's what I do. That way there, I don't forget to mirror one and then mess up the design. So next, we're going to go ahead and start cutting. I'm just connecting my Maker 3, and I am using my 12 by 24 mat for the red because I did stretch it out to like 13 point something. And that was just the design that fit best on the garden flag that I'm using as my little holder to hang up. So obviously I sped this up so you guys didn't have to sit through everything cutting in real time, but the Maker 3 does cut really, really fast compared to my Explorer Air 2. But I mean, when you use the smart material, it cuts way faster. So when I use a mat, it doesn't cut as fast. When I use the smart material, it cuts a lot faster. So as you guys probably seen, I had the red attached because I had a big roll of it and I wasn't 100% sure how much I wanted to cut off. So I waited and just attached it to the mat with my little grippies. And then I'm just trimming it off the roll now that it's all completely cut. And a tip for you guys, if you are trying to save vinyl and your vinyl can get expensive, and if you're cutting pieces off and you're not sure, leave it on the roll and then you can cut it off later like I did there, but save your scraps. If you've watched my channel, you know I have a clear bin with clear page protectors in it, and I save down to the teeniest, tiniest of my scraps. And I know some people think that's crazy, but sometimes I just need a 1-inch square to cut a set of eyes out. And that makes it so easy, and I don't have to pull out a big black roll of vinyl just to cut a little pair of eyes. So definitely save your scraps. You can make amazing things with scraps. You guys are going to see that on my channel, and that's basically what I do, is I just save every scrap. This brown was a scrap that I had in my container, and it was more than enough than what I needed. And I could probably get another whole set of what I'm making out of that brown scrap. So it's just something I want you guys to remember, is just save your scraps. It will really benefit you. So now we're getting ready to weed the design. So what weeding is when you take out everything that you don't need and you just leave behind the things that you do. All right, guys, sorry, I'm not feeling well. So my throat is a little crabby today. So all you do is use a weeding tool, which is what's in my right hand, and you pull out all the little pieces that you don't want to transfer onto your craft, whatever it is that you're making. And sometimes it can be a pain. This little gingerbread leg was not cooperating. It could be my fingernails too, I'm not sure, but definitely weeding is not my favorite thing. Some people think it's very therapeutic. I just want to get it over with, to be quite honest. The best way I've found to weed is to start in the bottom corner, whatever bottom corner you want to make it, and pull at an angle. If you pull at an angle, it just makes it so much easier. And then you're going to weed out like the insides of your letters, your numbers, and have it ready. So what I'm doing here is I'm just doing a basic layering technique where it's not really a technique. I just keep all of my layers together while I'm pulling them, while I'm weeding them, so they go in basically in the order that they need to go in. So this one was a little bit harder. A tip I want to share with you guys is if you are weeding something this large and it has no little itty bitties in it, you can start your heat press and warm up your heating mat and then just lay this on top of the heating mat and it'll weed like butter. But if you have little tiny designs, I do not suggest that. But something like this, I could have just turned on my heat press, just left it heat up, run it over your like mat, your pressing mat, and then, like I said, just lay your design on top and it'll weed really easy. I actually have a video that I do that in, and I can link it below for you guys if I can figure out which video it was. But yeah, it just makes it easier. It makes it weed like butter. But with little teeny tinies, like I would not put the top of this on there because it can pull off the little itty bitty pieces that you want to keep. So just keep that in mind. Be careful with the design, what your design is. Okay, so now I'm just going to flip this back, put down my layers, and sorry about the glare there, guys. And I'm just gonna lay this on top. And now I have a whiteboard beside me on my wall, and I just want to stick that design on the whiteboard beside me so that I can start working on the magnet and the little ornament that's going to hang off of it to mark our days. So it's perfectly fine to stick that to a whiteboard or something very clean and easy to peel off of. Don't stick it on anything that it's going to get a lot of fuzz or anything on it. So here is the piece I'm using. So this is actually a sublimation. It's a 100% polyester sublimation garden flag, but I have had these for such a long time, and when I was selling products, these were a big thing that I sold, and so I had bought a bunch of them, and I have I don't know if that I have a bunch. I have a couple left, and I wanted to use them for something, and I was like, this would be the perfect size for my countdown to Christmas. And I want you guys, you don't have to use something this big. If you want to use a piece of poster board and do permanent vinyl to make this, do that. You don't have to make it exactly like I'm making it. If you rather use Velcro instead of using the magnets, you could put Velcro strips across the, under all the numbers. You don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing it. This is just the basic idea. I want you to take the things that you already have and put them to use, because that's the whole point. We buy all this product and we spend sometimes a lot of money on these machines and all of the things that come with it. And I want you guys to use them. I want you to be able to bless your family and your friends and your coworkers and whoever else you're with and around. Maybe your neighbors. Maybe you have a neighbor that this is their first Christmas, maybe without a loved one or even without their pet. You can make them something so sweet that they remember that for a really long time. And I just think it's so important to share the love and to share the kindness. And it's, I'm not like the most amazing at that, but I do like to craft. And that's one way that I can do it, is by crafting. So I encourage you to use what you have, basically, and think about who you can make things for. So these are just a bunch of cute little gems that we got off Amazon to make barrettes with. And I found this cute little reindeer and I was like, this is what I want on my little disc. So this little disc is actually a keychain. It's a clear keychain. And I thought this would be the perfect size to use to put my reindeer on, or whatever design I had chosen. And it would cover the number of the day. Now, you don't have to use a charm. You could simply measure your whatever it is that you're going to put on there, and you could use permanent vinyl and put maybe like a star on it or a wreath around the circle, like whatever it is you want to do. You could do that. But this is just what I chose. So now the key to this for me is to cut my ribbon at an angle and stick the pointy end through the little teeny tiny hole. And I still have trouble with it. So Cricut makes these amazing, I don't even know what they're called. They're like reverse tweezers. They're not always open. You have to squeeze them to open them. And then when you let it go, it clamps onto the material or whatever it is you're trying to pull or pick up, and they're perfect. So that's what I'm using this time, to just go ahead and pull my ribbon through, and I leave a good bit so that I can tie my little reindeer onto it. So if you look at this reindeer, it has a little hole between the antlers, and that's what I'm going to stick the ribbon through. Now, this ribbon that I'm using is very it's like shreddy. So when I cut it, I want to keep a nice point so that I can get it through. Otherwise it would take forever. So, because it is a really tiny hole. And Cricut also has these tweezers that are like super pin pointy. And that's what I have to use for this in order to get get the ribbon pulled through that little tiny opening. But the great thing about having different tools is you can get the job done. That's one thing that whenever I do purchase certain products, I stick with the brand of that product. So there are other brands out there that you can absolutely use that will work. I just have this belief that certain things are made by certain brands to work together, and I like to kind of stick with that. So when I've used this example so many times, like my regular subscribers and followers, I'm sure have heard this, but if I'm using Stampin' Up! Products, chances are I'm going to use my Stampin' Up! Tools. And when I use my Cricut, I use my Cricut tools. When I use my Scan and Cut, I would use my Scan and Cut tools. So I just kind of am branded that way. Like, I don't know. I just think things work better when you use the same brand. But that's kind of like a little tangent of mine. But yeah, so if you're having trouble with something, if you're using a specific brand, maybe try to go with that brand's material or accessories to get it to work for you, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I just have these little glue dots that came with one of the designs kits that I bought for my Thanksgiving classroom. And I'm just going to peel this off using my tweezers. And they're very sticky and they're very gummy. So they like stretch and pull, but they work really well. They hold, like if you have something that you have trouble sticking to something else, these are amazing. I will put a link. There's like 3M makes them. These are not 3M ones, but 3M does make them. And they're like lifesavers when you need things to stick. So I'm going to be using that to hold my little reindeer in place. And then I'm going to, I'm not sure if I cut off the ribbon yet or not, but I'm going to cut that back piece of ribbon off. But here you could put like Merry Christmas in little tiny letters with permanent vinyl. You could put your family name. You could do so many different things with it. But I just really thought it was cute with the reindeer. So yeah, now I'm just going to cut off the excess ribbon. And it looks so cute. I think it turned out really, really cute. But the next thing we have to do is we need to put the magnet on the back. Okay, so here's a little science. Don't ask me what the names exactly are. I just remember that there's like magnets have like a positive and negative, I think. And like make sure when you put it on that you're not putting the pieces that repel each other back to front, because it won't attach. So you have to make sure if you choose to use the magnet, that you're putting like the right one against the right one. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because I almost put them the wrong way until I was like, oh, what is that like resistance? Oh yeah, it's a magnet. You have to put them together properly. So there's your little science lesson with all the wrong science terms that you guys probably know before me. But yeah, so make sure you're putting the right sides of the magnets together. And then I'm just using another one of these glue dots because it was like pretty much the perfect size that I had trimmed to put on the back of the glue dot to put on the back of the magnet to put on the back of the reindeer little circle that I have there. I just press it down, and then like I said, they're super sticky, and all you have to do is peel off the little clear plastic and put it in place, and you're pretty much good to go with those. Now you could absolutely hot glue these. I think that would work just as well. Any double-sided sticky tape, they're not heavy magnets. They're very, very thin. If I can find a link to these, I will put them down below. I do have to say, I think I already said this, I am a Cricut affiliate, and I do mark anything that I would be making any money off of. I let you guys know in the description box. So just be aware of that. So here I'm just checking to make sure I didn't make any mistakes, and I have everything adhered properly. And now I just need to measure how long I'm going to want my ribbon, because I want to make sure it will stretch from the upper left hand corner clear down to the number 25 and over to 21. And by doing that, I just need to lay my design. So I just kind of like line up my design as best as I can, get it as straight as I can, and make the decision like, okay, is this where I want to put it? And it looks good. It looks pretty good. It's a little crooked, but I think that's just the camera, because it turns out pretty good. So now I just want to decide where the ribbon's going to go. And At first, I was thinking that I would put it through the top lining, like almost like a curtain. But then I was like, that's like going to be a lot of ribbon that I have to use. Like, I don't want to be wasteful. I want to be able to use the stuff I have to the best, to the most that I can use it. So I decided I was just going to attach front and then tuck it in just a tiny bit into that little opening, that little, I call it the curtain opening, curtain rod opening, and then just hot glue that in there and then stretch it to the back. So that way there I had plenty of room and it would fit perfectly and it wouldn't have anything extra, but it would have enough. You know what I mean? So I just flipped it over with the magnet already on, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to use a glue dot and glue dot the magnet onto my fabric, or my ribbon, I'm sorry. So I'm just trimming it off. I think I left a little extra just in case, because I was like, did I do that right? I was concerned because it was also going through the plastic of the carrier sheet. So now I want to do the tops. So if you're not like me and you have a regular size dowel rod, which I originally thought I had and I didn't, so I had these tinier ones and I thought, oh, I will just attach them together. I'm not going to go buy something new whenever I have something that will work. So I'm just going to use washi tape to attach these together. If you don't know what washi tape is, it's kind of like for scrapbooking, planners, card making, things like that. It's a really thin tape, and usually it's decorative. Like, I have this cute Christmas one I thought was really cute. No one's going to see it, but I was like, I'll know it's there. So I'm going to use the cute Christmas one and put that in where it goes. So I'm just going to wrap it around, and it tears super, super easy. So it's not like you have to cut it. You can just rip it and tear it. And I'm just going to put some on the middle, and then I'm going to put some on either end where the two meet, not clear at the end, just where the two meet. And I'm just deciding now exactly where I want it, and I'm just going to wrap it. So yeah, washi tape is really fun if you are a planner, like if you decorate your planners or use, like I said, scrapbook or make cards. Washi tape can just add that little bit of extra super cuteness to things, and I always like the little extra touches and things like that. So definitely something to look into if you do scrapbook, or if you're new to paper crafting at all. If you don't have like a cute strip of designer paper, use washi tape. There's so many cute designs out there. So now I'm just going to finish wrapping that, and then I'm going to slide it through the little curtain rod opening. So once I slide it through, it's not done. Like, I'm not finished with that portion. Like, I'm later on going to be doing a little bit of hot glue on there. I didn't want the hot glue inside on the rod just because I didn't want it to hang weird if there was a little bit of glue that got caught in the wrong place, like as I was sliding it through. So I just didn't want the glue inside of the little opening. So now I'm just going to decide where I want the hanging rod, the hanging ribbon to go on the rod. So I'm just, again, using the glue dots. I didn't want to use hot glue for this, or regular like tacky glue or fabric glue, because I feel like it like gushes through and then it leaves that mark. So these little like double-sided stickies are perfect for things like the ribbon and stuff like that, and it holds really well. Like, I have this hanging up in my living room, and it looks really, really cute. You guys will see a picture of it at the end, but it's holding up, so it's fine. And they, like I said, they are very sticky and gummy, but they do the trick when you need it done. So now the only thing I want to make sure I do is line it up so you can't tell that it's back there. You know what I mean? So like, I want to make sure that it is covered. And by doing that, I'm just pulling tight on the ribbon and lining it up in back and pressing it. And so it can still move freely at this point. It's not completely attached to the rod. And I did that on purpose because I want to be able to take the rod out if need be, and to kind of make sure that my design is going to hang properly once this is all done. And then I'll glue it into place so it's the right length. So then here we're just going to do this exact same thing to the other side. And I honestly think I made it a little bit long for where I have mine hung, because mine is hung right behind my recliner couch, and it does come down just a tiny bit lower than what I wanted it to. But you could always like attach a little bow on it and like scrunch up the ribbon if you make yours too long, and you could just pin a little bow on it and just make it a little bit, you know, higher, if you know what I mean. You could do that too. So now I'm just using another one of those sticky dots, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did on the other side, just making sure that your ribbon is staying the same direction, because you don't want it to be like twisted or anything like that. So now we're going to slide it back under, and we're going to pull tight, line it up, and just press. So guys, I hope you are super excited about Christmas. This is like an exciting time for me. Like I said, my kids are older now, but I still want to have that fun Christmas time. And I figured what a better way than doing 25 days of Christmas crafting with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. My videos are probably going to be a little bit longer just because it takes a lot more time to do the voiceovers and adding the extra design things that I'm doing. But I hope you guys enjoy it. So you'll definitely have to let me know if you enjoy the longer videos, because I'll make them longer if that's what you guys want. But I really just wanted you guys to join in on the Christmas fun. And we have a Facebook page. If you're not part of it yet, definitely go subscribe, or is it subscribe? Go join that group on Facebook. It's called Crafter Support, and you just kind of like ask to join, and then usually within 24 hours, I'm like on it and I can accept you guys into the group. But it's just a fun place that you guys can share your designs, things that you make, and that's what I wanted it for. There's not a lot of people that are willing to share their designs. And when I talk to people about it, because I used to go to people's houses and teach them how to use their Cricut, and I would laugh because they'd be like, oh, I've had my Cricut for 2 years. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I can help you make something. And they're like, I get to their house and it's still in the box and they've never opened it. And I'm like, you could be making such amazing things with your Cricut and have so much fun with it if you just made something. But they're always scared because they're like, what if it looks stupid? And I've heard so many people say that, like, oh, I don't post when I make because I don't want it to look stupid. And I'm like, it's not going to look stupid. It's going to look amazing because it's what you created. And I think everybody is creative. I mean, God created us. He is a creator, and everybody, I think, has that ability to create something. They're good at making something or doing something, whether it's paper crafting or building something or running a business or whatever it is. We all have a talent of doing something, and we just kind of need to tap into that and really enjoy what we do. So that was kind of like a big old circle, but my whole point was, you can be creative and definitely share your work with others. So that's what I want from Crafter Support on Facebook, is share your creations. There's nothing that you can make that I haven't made worse, or that somebody else in the group hasn't made worse. And we will laugh and love with you, to be quite honest. So don't ever be worried about sharing something. I would never allow anything unkind on Facebook, on my Facebook group. It just wouldn't happen. So we have a good group of people on our Facebook group. So definitely go check it out and share your creations. I just want to stress that if you're already on the group, share what you make. We'd love to see it. So it's ready to go. And now I just need to head over to my pressing station. Crazy things are happening. I need to make more space for all of my crafting stuff. And so right now I just have different stations that I go to. So here is the design. It's not pressed yet, obviously, but I will be using I think it's my heat press 2. Yes, I think that's what it is. And it's the mint kind, the mint color one. And if you're unfamiliar with this is the Cricut's heat press or easy press. And it's really nice because you can set up the amount of time and the heat temperature that you want. And then it counts down for you. That's what I love. So right now it's building up to the 320 degrees that I like to use. And we have a pressing mat. So my pressing mat is not as big as my design, so I will have to go over a few different times for pressing, which is absolutely fine. The only thing you don't want to do is like really overheat your design, and it's okay. Like I don't want to say have overpressed my designs, but I've like had to go over top of them multiple times and it's still fine. So no stress. So I do speed this up so you don't have to sit through every 30 seconds that it takes, because we are doing it in sections. But I just want you to know that you can go over the same spot more than once. I don't recommend going over it more than like 2 times, but it'll be fine. So the other thing is, if you didn't have a pressing mat like I have there, you could use a folded up towel, anything to give you a pushback, and that's going to, 1, protect your surface that you're working with, and 2, not pressing it on something hard and that's going to maybe possibly stick to or leave a mark on or something like that. And I get questions all the time about the Easy Press. That gray little stand that you see it on, it gets warm, but you can pick it up and move it. You can touch the bottom center of at least I can. I can touch the bottom center of my Easy Press when it's set at 320 degrees through the gray thing to move it, and it doesn't burn. It's warm, but it doesn't burn. So to me, it is extremely safe. I recommend it. If you do not have a heat press, this is a great one to start off on. If you can afford, if it's in the budget to get the larger one, I recommend that. So you're just doing 1 press at a time. It will save you time, obviously, if I just had to do 1 press. Now, I also have a swing arm press, which is kind of tucked away. So I have to make room to get that back out, because I am going to be needing it for some of the projects that we will be making with Crafting Christmas. So so you will be seeing my swinging arm one, but right now I'm able to use just my Easy Press from Cricut. So we did the first layer, and now I want to line up and do the gingerbread layer. It's the next bottom layer, and all I'm going to do is line it up, press it down, and then I'm going to peel the green layer away. And all I'm going to do is lift and hold down the brown layer and pull it away, and then make sure that it's still lined up. This being 100% polyester, it shifts and moves and slides. It's just that kind of fabric. So I just needed to do a little rearranging of things to get it to go where I needed it to be, but it's normally not a big deal. And you also want to cover and protect any vinyl that you just put on, because you don't want that to get onto your actual Easy Press, because that would just melt it off. You don't want to do that. So make sure you keep it covered. I normally use a Teflon sheet when I'm making shirts and things like that, because I press them with a heavier pressure on my other machine. But to make this, I just put the carrier sheet back on it. It was perfectly fine. Now I did the same thing with the green vinyl. I just layered it back up where it needed to go, recovered all of the design, and am pressing that. So really it's just, just continuing with the process. So if you're new to Cricut and you've never used iron-on, or maybe you're a little afraid to use it, you can use a home iron. I just really encourage you very much to go in circles because irons have those little holes that are not hot spots. Those are like for the steam to come out, and you never want steam on your heat transfer vinyl or your iron on. It's the same thing. It's just two different names for the same item. And you want to make sure that you're keeping consistent heat and pressure and the right amount of time for your design. Now, Cricut does have a heat guide that it can tell you. It's for the easy presses, but you can use that for other presses or irons that you use. I do not recommend using a regular iron for something that you're going to wash regularly. But for something like this, you could use a regular iron. So you would turn it to like your highest cotton setting, and that's what you would use for the right amount of time. So you would just go in circles and keep checking to make sure that your vinyl is not peeling up. So if you start to peel the carrier sheet off and you see your vinyl lifting, carefully lay it back down, smooth it out, and then reheat over it, and just keep going in circles with it. So now I have this in place where I want it, and I'm just going to tuck it in, like I said, and I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue inside of the little curtainy spot in there just to hold it in place. So I have to say, I've been using my Cricut glue gun for a while now. And I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys, which I always am. When I first got this glue gun, it was amazing. And I know it's just a glue gun, and people said, I thought it was super cute, and it wasn't very stringy. And I was just like sold on it because it shut off itself. After 15 minutes of no use, it shuts off, and it didn't leave a lot of strings. However, I only use Cricut hot glue sticks in it. Again, that's the branding thing that I do. And I notice the more that I use it, and I've used it a lot, and my daughter uses it too, it has been stringy lately. And I don't know if it's because it's colder and the temperature that it's been stored in is a little bit colder. I don't know. I'm kind of interested to hear how yours are working. Have you noticed them being stringier whenever you use your Cricut glue sticks? I don't know that it works well with other glue sticks. I've only used Cricut glue sticks in it, but I feel like it's just a little stringy, and it's not supposed to be, or it's supposed to have a little bit. But I've noticed the more I use it, it gets stringy. So that's just something I wanted to follow up on with the Cricut hot glue gun, because I told you guys I would definitely do follow up, and I'm just now getting to that, and it's been quite a while. But yeah, so now I'm just going to hot glue the other side on, and it is done. Guys, it turned out so cute. I hope you like it. Definitely let me know in the comments below what you think. And let me know if you're going to make one. Join our Facebook group, subscribe to this channel, like this video, all of the fun things, and let us see what you make. If you wouldn't have to make this on material, you can make this on a wood sign. You could, like I said, you can make it on poster board, whatever it is that you have sitting around, please make it on that, because you already have it. You don't have to waste any more money. And I don't mean waste. I mean, go buy stuff. You won't have to do that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a great day. Bye.